All right, boys, it is officially go time. Nintendo finally dropped the first look trailer of the Nintendo Switch 2. And after months of rumors and leaks, I mean, we pretty much already know the ins and outs of this whole thing. Let's watch this first look trailer and then let's analyze it and let's talk about it for a bit. So, yeah, we've pretty much know this is a classic Switch. I think it looks okay. I definitely think that it definitely needs an update. Much bigger screen as anticipated. I don't think it's OLED, which is kind of a shame, but I mean, it doesn't look bad. Showing off all the ports. USB-C, of course. The new stand looks a little bit thin, but you know, hopefully it's sturdy. Bigger Joy-Cons, definitely something that was desperately needed, and they look much sleeker. I won't lie. We have that little port because it is going to be magnetic according to the leaks, and they pretty much confirm it here. This feels very Apple, I will say. It definitely does feel like an Apple presentation, but to be completely honest with you, I don't mind that. And that's another thing, the whole sliding on the like on the counter. People are saying that it's supposed to be like some sort of mouse feature or whatever, and they're magnetic. That, I'm not gonna lie, this looks super sleek. Nintendo Switch 2. Not a big fan of the logo, but the logo is the least of my concerns, honestly. Super sleek fucking looking console, dude. And oh, we gotta look at the potential new Mario Kart, dude. The dock looks pretty great too. It leaves a little bit of the console showing there. Yeah, new Mario Kart, definitely new Mario Kart, and we'll explain why I think it's a new Mario Kart. 2025. We do know that it's coming this year. Again, reassuring people that it is backwards compatible. And another Switch Direct on the 2nd of April. All right, let's go back. It was a really short trailer, but let's go back and sort of analyze what it is that they're showcasing here, which I'm really excited about. This is the first ever Switch, right? This is like the Switch that if you got it on release, more than likely this is what it looks like. Honestly, I don't think that the console looks bad. I never thought that it looked bad. But when you compare it to, I definitely do think that this looks much sleeker. I still like the fact that they kept their identity with the blue on the joystick here, and the blue and the pastel red. I am a really big fan of that. It's a subtle hint of what the previous one was, and honestly, it's just a little nice callback to the Switch 1. I still feel so weird calling it the Switch 1. So yeah, we have a little bit of what they showcased here with the Joy-Cons, and I don't think that that's just a presentation thing. I think they are actually going to do something with that. And there is another port on the top of the console, and there's been a lot of rumors and sort of people speculating as to what this could be. I've heard people say that there's going to be like some sort of camera attachment and just different attachments and different speculation as to what exactly can go inside this port. Some people say that while it's docked or while you have it in certain ways that you can charge it from the top as well. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what exactly it is. Again, we won't know until April, which is a couple months away, 3 months away, but again, we'll see what they end up doing with this port here at the top. I don't ever really use the Switch undocked, and especially I don't ever really use the kickstand on it. I do like the one on the Nintendo Switch OLED just because it literally covers the entirety of the console. It's just a big piece of plastic that makes it super secure. I'm not sure if a lot of kids are actually going to do well with this because it does look a little bit thin all around. But again, it's not really a concern to me because I don't ever really play the Switch in this manner. But again, I hope that it is really sturdy just in case, you know, it does need to be used. One thing I do notice at the top is where you put the games here. And honestly, I have a Nintendo Switch OLED and I absolutely hate using that just because it feels like I can never open that thing. But it does look like it has a little tab to make it a little bit easier, which is really nice for dumb people like me. This is going to be another big feature of the Joy-Cons and the console itself is the fact that the Joy-Cons magnetically attach to the tablet portion of the console. I've seen people speculate that this is just going to be bad thing all around just because it is magnetic and it's just going to slip off. But I feel like if Nintendo's going to be doing this, I don't think that they're just going to put in some casual old magnet in there to hold those things in. I feel like it's just going to be secure, and unless you're flailing your freaking console around, I don't feel like the Joy-Cons are going to go anywhere. And of course, we do have the Nintendo Switch 2 logo, which again, I'm not a big fan of just because it feels like they just slid over the Joy-Con portion of it and just slapped the big 2 on it. I do think that they could have done something better with it, but again, it doesn't really matter. It's like the least of our concerns, but it definitely is a little bit disappointing. But again, it doesn't matter at the grand scheme of things. I don't think people should dwell too much on it. So here's the back portion of the Nintendo Switch 2. You get to see the back of the Joy-Cons as well, a better view of the stand and how that looks like on the back of the tablet portion. You get to see the buttons on the back of the Joy-Cons here too. And again, this console overall just looks very sleek. I really do like how you can kind of see the old colors, the red and the blue kind of peeking out in between the gaps of the Joy-Cons. And now this is where it really starts getting exciting, and this is what makes me really look forward to that April Direct, is the fact that we get our potential first look at Mario Kart 9. And I know that it's Mario Kart 9 just because of the amount of spaces that there is here. Just take a look at it. Let's do a little bit of a math lesson. Let's count together. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 24 potential racers being able to race at the same time in this new Mario Kart, which is insane. Never done before, never seen before. And honestly, if the console is going to be more beefed up, more powerful, it makes sense for Nintendo to want to do this. And of course, I really do hope that the online system and how the online works is better to better support something like this. I really do hope that that's the case. But regardless, it is, again, something completely new to the Mario Kart franchise, and I'm going to show you why I think this is Mario Kart 9, and of course not any port of Mario Kart 8, because I'm totally done with that. But let's take a look at how the actual game itself looks. Take a look at how Mario looks here. I feel like Mario here looks a little bit more like his classic design compared to what he looks in more modern versions of Mario, or even just in Mario Kart 8. I feel like he looks a little bit more cutesy, I will say. I'll put up a comparison picture of what he looks like in Mario Kart 8, but he just looks a little bit more classic, honestly. It kind of feels like they're going, in terms of the character design, kind of going back to what they essentially look like in games like Mario Kart 64 or even the original Mario Kart, just in terms of how sort of chibi and like kind of squished they kind of look, and I freaking love that. And even in the background, take a look at Bowser. Bowser looks a little bit more, again, compact, a little bit more smaller, a little bit more chibi, if you will. Luigi kind of shares that too, but where I think it's a definite tell that this is completely new and redesigned models. Before we get into that, here's a look at the dock. I think it looks really nice. Again, big slapped logo in front, which I'm not a big fan of, but who cares? It's going to be docked there. I'm not really going to be paying too much attention to it. I will say this package looks incredible. I think, again, it just looks incredibly sleek, and I'm excited for a much sleeker look. I will have to zoom in so you guys can see it better, but take a look at how Donkey Kong looks. Definitely not looking like modern Donkey Kong or what we know Donkey Kong to look like now. This Donkey Kong here looks like classic Donkey Kong. It definitely feels like they're going back, making things a little bit more stylized and just looking a little bit more cartoony. And honestly, with games like Mario, I'm such a huge fan on when they make things look super vibrant. And also, just taking a look at the stage itself, it's kind of going for like a desert theme. I am a really big fan of how it looks. It looks pretty freaking nice, and I honestly cannot wait to play in this track. And I'm just excited for a new Mario Kart. I'm so done with Mario Kart 8, to be completely honest with you guys. Again, here's a look at the complete package: the tablet, the dock, the Joy-Cons with the little inserts so that you can play them together, and of course the new Mario Kart in the background. I honestly am extremely excited for whatever this April Direct is going to be. And of course, I feel like I've seen early reception of some people once again saying that it's ways out and people are afraid that it's going to be, you know, way later into 2025. But honestly, as I'd always say, let them cook up whatever it is that they have to finalize so that we can get something truly special. And I feel like the initial release of this thing is going to be insane, because not only are we now getting a new Mario Kart, which potentially has again potential to be one of the release games for the console, but we could potentially see a new Mario, a 3D Mario, and just other games in there. I'm just extremely excited for it. So I've seen the early reception of this thing and the trailer itself, and I feel like a lot of people just were very much overwhelmed, very much overconsumed with the entirety of the leaks. Again, we pretty much know the ins and outs of this thing before Nintendo released this trailer. At some point I was following the leaks, but I just kind of stopped just because I was just waiting for Nintendo to drop something official. Again, all those leaks could have been just BS until Nintendo officially released this thing. And again, I don't feel like Nintendo needs to completely innovate or completely revamp their philosophy when it comes to their consoles. I feel like what they did with the Switch 1, which is kind of weird calling it the Switch 1, what they did with that console was just revolutionize gaming forever. Again, it is the console that I play the most still to this day, and I feel like a beefed up version of that is just going to be wonderful for me. Again, we don't know the ins and outs of what the potential gimmick will look like, but again, I don't feel like they need to implement any crazy gimmick just to satisfy people's needs or people's wants for a completely brand new thing. I feel like people need to understand that what the Switch 1 already did was amazing, and I feel like this is Nintendo capitalizing on that, making it better for potentially better experience. They're also doing an in-person event in several states here in the US. I think it's New York, Dallas, and Los Angeles. So in April, if I can go ahead and do that, I might as well do so. But yes, whenever anything new and official drops, I will make sure to cover it here on the channel. I'm really excited for this thing. Let me know if you guys are too down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like for future videos, and we'll see you next time. Bye.